Hi folks, my name's Ethan with Camp Galileo, and I'm here to tell you today about our wonderful pipe insulation cutters. These devices were made by Mr. David Bolin of Oakland, California, and they are designed specifically to help you cut full pieces of foam pipe insulation. This is a small piece, right down the middle along the line so that you can make a nice U-shaped track for roller coasters, marble machines, things like that at Camp G. So this is just going to show you how we do that. The pipe insulation cutter is mostly just a captive normal X-Acto blade in there, held together by a couple of pieces of PVC. There's a useful guide on one end to show you which way to insert your pipe insulation. And so what you're going to want to do is just find the seam on your pipe insulation. It's not actually split, but it's partially split right there already. And line that up with the guide, arrows pointing in the direction you want to be pulling. So we're going to just line up with the guide like that. And we're just going to push this through very gently, and you see the blade's going to start cutting through it right there. And once we've got the end coming out the other side, you want to pull is the easiest way to go. So just grasp firmly and pull right on through. Should be nice and smooth. And out the other end, perfectly split piece of pipe insulation. Doesn't get better than that. We've discovered that the normal way for these pipe insulation splitters to fail or to start to not work so well is when the blade inside starts to get dull. And you'll know this if your split pipes start to have ragged edges. Anything like this is no good. Usually you can tell if just by pulling the pipe insulation through, if it's at all difficult to pull, then usually you're tearing the insulation like this. So you'd want a nice smooth cut, but if you reach the point where smooth cut's not happening anymore from your blade, then you're going to want to swap out the blade. So we've provided extra blades for you to do that, and we do use standard box cutter blades, look like this, careful they're sharp, and this is how you're going to go replacing that part of the splitter. So it's really just a few pieces of PVC here, and the end with the blade closer to it will slide right out. You might need to wedge a little screwdriver or something in there between those spots, but most of the time you can just pull it right out like that. So that comes out like that. First thing, let's note there are a couple of notches in here. I don't know if you can see that. A slightly longer one and a shorter one. That'll come into play in a minute. But once you've removed that end cap there, then you have easy access to the blade here. It should slide right out, so if you just carefully reach in there and pull it, there we go, pull it right out. That's a dull blade now. Into the trash with that, carefully of course. Okay, taking a look at our splitter with the end cap removed and the old blade taken out, you'll notice inside there, up at the top, is a little notch. Now that is the receiving area for the flat edge of the blade right here. So with that notch up there, I'm pretty much just going to slide it in like this, and it goes right into that notch there. This should be pretty firm, but definitely a little bit of wiggle. Now you're going to take your end cap, recall the two different notched sides, so we're going to take the larger notch, and that's going to be at the bottom by the part of the blade that's closer to the end, and the smaller notch will be on the top. And so we're just going to do it this way for you. I'm going to line up those two notches there. And the big notch is going to hit first, of course, and start sliding in, make sure that all aligned. So a second notch and the whole thing nice and firm again. And voila, there you have it. Brand new blade in here. Give it a go with a nice big old piece of insulation here. Same procedure as before, where we're going to line up the existing seam with that green line right there. And once we get that started, through the other side, a nice steady pull here, making sure to keep these lines lined up the whole way. You don't want a corkscrew cut here. I'm just going to slide our way right down the length, and another perfect split. There you have it.